Watingo wiwa, watingo. Now, you people need to look at me when you're singing, eh? Look at me when you're singing because I can't hear it. You know, sometimes your eyes communicate, eh? My name is Hellen Olivia Akotomolo, Nyarnyakach, Makinena Kawuto Tadwangora, therefore, Mtawali. Watingo wiwa, watingo. And people ask me why I have a long name. I got the opportunity to travel to the US one day and to do tours in this institution. I have a Frizo, that group that I was singing with. We traveled to the US and other places. So when I went to the US the first time, I suffered culture shock. Eh? The culture shock that I suffered made me think twice. Everybody in the US was making the name short. Wellington called me Welly. Washington called me Washi. Johnston called me John. Hellen, so that you can call me Hell over my dead body. Over my dead body. Imiyo wakendikao, imiyo wakendikao, ikao, imiyo wakendikao, imiyo wakendikao, imiyo. So that's where I came up with the format. And all those are my names: Hellen, Olivia, Akot. Omolo is my father. Nyarnyakach, Makinena Kawuto Tadwangora, therefore. How do you write therefore? Polo mamor, in between. Polo mamor. Polo mamor. That's learning by road again. Polo mamor. Nyarnyakach is where I come from. Where when the wind speaks to you, it does. You say, Amado soda barigin. Soda barigin. Because of the wind. Area hiyo kali sana. When you walk, you just walk. Mtawali ni address. Everybody knows music is produced from the same past. I teach music at Testa University. Apart from teaching, that's where I started from. Taught for 13 years, and after that, I was deployed to work with marketing or corporate affairs. So in corporate affairs, now I use music to market the university. Wachipawe anakue. Wachipawe anakue. In corporate affairs, I do special projects. We go round different churches, singing, spreading the word of God. But through music, we're able to tell people about our programs at Desta. So I use music to market Desta. Who am I? Hey! Jaluo kiti kitembegi. Yani I'm a Luo. Kiti kitembegi tabia setu. Tabia. Our tabias, we are people who brag about what we do. Like I say, I'm a singer. I'm a motivational speaker. I am a brand ambassador for Desta University. I judge music. I speak 16 languages. Mother of one. And many other people's children, because I mentor many others, and there are those who stay around me. Like you've seen some of those, I call them my children, my babies. I do about 14 things, depending on the different skills I have in music, art, drama. Like now, we're doing Sarafina, and I'll be Sarafina's mother. So I'm an actress as well. So when you hear me speaking capital letters, it's not just the Luo thing coming out. No, I got skills in drama for projection. I project, and make sure that one addiction come out clean. Musicians should know that they are geniuses. If you're a musician, there are 5 things that follow you naturally. Art follows you naturally. Art like design, etc. It follows you naturally. Dance follows you naturally. Drama follows you naturally. Writing follows you as well because you are songwriters, we're composers, we write songs. Some people do it on the spot. Yeah, that follows you naturally. And music itself. So we'll talk about that another day. Yeah. Jehovah Elohim, El Shaddai, Adonai, Yahweh. My mom tells me that when I was in her womb, I used to go. I used to go. She was like, is that the leg? Is that the feet? Is that the fist? You know. You alone, oh my God. My father is a musician. He's a co-director. He still does that till today. Till date, he's over 70, actually about his 80s, but he still teaches music at home. Yeah. So my journey in music, I was born naturally a person who loved music, with no training until Form 4. After my Form 4, I went to Daystar. Daystar is the one that started training me from scratch to date. And I ended up teaching music because I used to do it with zeal. Really, really anxious to know what is it that people know about music that I don't know. And that's actually how come I landed into different music programs that I do because of curiosity. So I did music. I have I've grown up having a love for music. My father, being a coach, he would teach the choir, teach different people how to sing, and I watched him. Would even go to the choir practice with him when I was tiny little baby, and my dad says that sometimes he would want people to say tokeni hapo, tokeni, and I would with my little voice go nyinyi tokeni hapo, ibeni ibeni ya woo woo, and then he would, as he conducts, I would stand with him, and then one day he'd actually let me conduct the choir. Then after that, I actually sang with the choir. In standard 5, I used to lead the choir. So I did that. Primary school, I used nursery school, primary school, I used to sing in the choir, assembly throughout. In Form 4, from 1 to 4, at my high school, we used to be called the songbirds. Watingo bedewa, watingo bedewa. I didn't know Daystar until when I failed Form 4 with 1 mark. Not Form 4, Form 6. I did up to Form 6. And I missed KU with 1 mark. And I wanted to go to KU, and I missed KU. Somebody showed my dad Daystar as a private university, and they said I was overqualified to do Daystar because that time it was government, and we didn't know about private. But private, people were paying school fees. My dad apparently was working there, so he said, you know what, how if my daughter comes here, will I pay the same school fees? Then I said, no, we will give you a tuition waiver. And that's how come I joined Daystar, because my dad used to work here. So I joined Daystar, studied for free. After studying for free, that's why when I started a free zone, now I give back to Daystar. When we raise funds and millions we raise, we bring back as a way to say thank you to Daystar. When I use a freeze of this team to sing and do services for Daystar, I do it knowing that I'm giving back. So I ended up in music, not because I didn't like, but somebody in high school, one of my teachers told me, you know what, when you finish your high school, look for an institution that will nurture your music talent. So I just used to sing with zero knowledge in music until I got to Daystar. I found a Mzungu called Dr. Wanok. He's the one who introduced me to music. And then I found my mentor, Dr. Roberta King, who now introduced ethnomusicology, introduced music communication, so how you can communicate better with music, and end up learning how to speak English, learning how to use music to communicate. Our music creates meaning because we use music that is the past to probably create validity to the moment. So that's what people know me for. I've loved music. I don't do music I don't get forced to do music. I do it effortlessly, and I enjoy doing it, and that's what actually pays my bills. So anything I do is around the area of music, in music training, in music performance, and that's where I really, really thrive in performance. I teach people how to perform, and also music education, music theory. I used to teach theory for a long time in this institution, both campuses, until I realized that we had a lack of music performers and music teachers who would teach people about performance. People who take music as a subject today appreciate the performing side, because in the past we never used to be performers. We used to leave music for choral singers, people who sing choir. But there's much more to music than what meets the eye. It's not just the choir. You can become a performer. That's what I can sing. KTN I can sing does today. Remember, I missed KU with 1 mark. And it's my dad who worked at Daystar who introduced me into music at Daystar and said, you know what, don't lose hope. There's music at Daystar. Can you? I cried. I really, really cried the whole day knowing that I missed KU. My music is done. Because people used to tell me I'm a good singer. I need to tell. Remember the teacher who told me, you know what, once you're done with high school, find a college that will nurture your music talent. And I used to write songs in high school, and we go to competitions and we win, you know. So I started getting certificates a long, long time ago for writing, for songwriting. And my dad looked at me and said, you know what, there's hope. There's no need for you to cry. The place where I work, it's a university, and they will take you. Except I'm not sure they'll take you for what. So when I went there, I actually came to Daystar to do business administration and management as my major. But until I put my feet inside and realized, hey, by the way, I could actually turn out to be a teacher who teaches theory and music. So in BA, it was BA education, Bachelor of Arts education, but you take 2 teaching subjects. Now those 2 teaching subjects are what I loved. I loved theory. Why? Because I'll train in Bible, and if I wanted to go and teach, I would teach Bible and music. So when they introduced music, they introduced it as a minor. So that was going to be a minor, and a minor, and then theory my major. Because that's what I would, under education, I would be able to teach in high school. When I was about to finish, because I finished my course, it was designed for me to finish in 5 years, but I finished it in less than 4 years, 4.5. Yeah, 4 years. Yeah, I quickly rushed. I was encouraged because Daystar now made me realize those many more gifts that I had. At Daystar, before I came to Daystar, I suffered inferiority complex because of my eyes. I used to really feel inferior because people thought I was blind, and I wondered why they always backbite me. Why? But when I met Dr. Roberta King, she said, you know what, these eyes are very special. Then at Daystar is when I realized there are people who now praise me for my eyes. Hey, until I realized that this is a gift. I started being paid for pictures that I would take. They take pictures of my eyes, and I'd get money and value for my eyes. Then my self-esteem just raised. Then I started getting also opportunities to teach music with Dr. Roberta King. Wherever she would go, it was like her PA. We'd go together until one day after we had taught for like about 2-3 years, almost the same thing. I was like, you know what? I could teach what she's teaching because I now know it back to back. She gave me an opportunity to teach. And the way I taught it, she would just laugh. She said, you know what? You have taught this lesson in a very different way from the way I teach it, and people tend to listen to you. People tend to get attracted and drawn to what you say and how you say it. Because my methodology as a teacher at Daystar, I realized if the student fails, you too has failed as a teacher. So I learned different languages, and I would explain whatever I knew in different languages until you get it. So if it is music, in Kikuyu, I'll use whatever methodology in Kikuyu until you know the concept and the word. If it is blue notes, I'll tell them those notes that are not in the keyboard. And then I gave the kwakwari, mumutu, asiaju. If they had that note and then I relate to the English one, they'll get it. So she just got, elated and said, you could actually be a good teacher. And that's how my music journey as a teacher and instructor came in. People used to flock my class like this. But now when I started the tours, it's because in music, nobody would know you as a musician if you're not practicing. There has to be the practice side of it. And I'm glad just the other day I went into a conference where scientists are looking for a way to link theory and what you do in class into the industry. How applicable is it? And I'm glad that here at this, I realized that a long time ago, that in music, as you trained as a musician, people don't see value for you until you're able to do it. And that is what has made me stay young, fresh, because you listen, you put your eyes on the ground and say, okay, what genres are outstanding? What genres do people love? How do you do them? How do I place my voice in order to sound like it? When I knew Dr. Roberta King, I loved African American music and I loved English. Don't ask me to sing anything African. No. But each time she came to class, she would tell us, now, this is the hymn. How do we do it in our way? And in the workshops, we would try to look for how we do our things our way. Workshop 1. I do another workshop. She's still insisting. Then she writes books. And the books are published and people buy them in America. About us. It ticked my mind. Why would a Mzungu write about us? Take pictures. The other day I took pictures the whole day. Pictures. Over there are pictures that she's actually going to put in this book, etc. That she's writing about our music. Hey, my sister, I woke up. I said, okay, so somebody from away is coming to write about me. And then she's writing books about us and bragging about us. And here I am, I know so little about the music, and I think I know so much. Why don't I just consider doing my own? And every place I would go, she would talk about African music, and she would be renowned for the way she's introducing African music to us. That's why I said, you know what? I gotta love who I am. Because you know what? She has something. She has content that she's shipping out. Why not me, who is the African, teach it? Then she writes about her African instruments, talk about the music from Zululand, talks about music from Congolese land. We do music in Africa. She's not communication in Africa. Then she writes songs, and these are songs that later on are translated about us. I remember Dr. Livingstone. Dr. Livingstone discovered Mount ya nani? I discovered na ilikuwa karibu na sisi kwetu. Hapa na sisi ndio tumeilelea, That's how I decided, you know what? I'll be passionate about what we are. Then we started doing the tours. We started doing the tours in America, and we do tours in America. We sing songs from different parts of Africa. We had different songs from parts of Africa that were amazing. We would sing English, and they'd look at us and wonder what we're doing. But as soon as we started African music, they'd say like, well, and we'd get applauses for the African songs that we would sing. And the funny thing is, we're singing a language you don't understand. So we designed sections where we would translate. And sometimes we would translate wrongly. And they don't know. Hey, I said, yes, this that you don't know, we will brag about it. Because now we will ask you to learn it and also know. And there would have sections where we'd ask them to join us. There are churches that are Orthodox that do not clap. They don't raise their hands. Do you know it became part of our design in music to teach them about our African music? That in Africa, people clap. In our singing, there's no singing without clapping. So let's clap. Follow the leader, clap. Ha. Clap, clap. Ha, ha. I tell you, that is what became our niche. And everybody started loving our African music. We tell them now, there's no African music without dance. There are those stiff people who didn't know how to dance. We, through our African music, would invite them to dance. And I tell you, when they're done, they say, guys, you know, we have never ever experienced lovely music like this. I just love Africa. I just like us. Yes, Africa is not just the animals and the trees. And we don't live in huts. We live in very, very big story buildings, you know, etc. But there's more to us. And our music is rich. So I had something to teach them. Music has changed my life. First, as an orator. I used to listen to Kasanga. I sang with Kasanga for about 15 years. And Kasanga would tell us, people, you know, most people know how to talk, but we can't talk. We talk through music. So in my head, I was like, yeah, musicians really are not supposed to talk much. But as I continued in this education venture, I realized as a teacher, I must talk. And I would be called, after doing Tasker Project Fame, the fact that I touched Tasker, and I'm a Christian. Why am I working with Tasker? I'm a Christian. That I had to find ways to make a defense. I had to find ways to defend myself. Why did I do that? If anything, I did it by mistake, and it worked for me, for my good. So I had to learn how to teach. I had to teach well and to teach meaningfully. I had to learn how to speak. I would learn how to public speak. Personally, my public speaking classes, when I was here as a student, my undergrad, pathetic. I didn't even know how to public speak. But today, I get to MC events in the US. Not once, not twice, but I get called. In between our program, KTN, immediately I had to go MC an event. You think those people don't have MCs, but this is special. Today, I can be called by companies to MC their events. I see MCing is also has a lot to do with public speaking. Taught me how to organize my mind before people. Also gave me what? What is it called? A trademark. People know my name. They know it through the different things I do. Let me tell you, just recently, Churchill Live was invited. Churchill Live, the whole program, was invited to Atlanta. They call it Atlanta. They were invited to Atlanta to go and do a program. But apparently they didn't get their visas right and stamped. So Churchill didn't show for that event. Guess who became the Churchill? Mimi. They made me too. So you can imagine, Hellen went there. They know me as a musician. So I go to this event and they say, Churchill Live is not there. They invite, where is that Hellen? We hear kuna Hellen. You know, this is an Atlanta, but ni Kikuya. Muranga iko huko Atlanta. And kuna Hellen mwingine hapa alikuja hapa kutoka Nairobi. Nasikia alikuja hapa ni MC. Hebu kuja dakika moja, Hellen. Tushekeshe. I'm like, seriously? I'm supposed to shekesha you, and then the guy says, hata ututore kitadawiri. My dear, how it worked, I don't know.
Oh, it is Jesus. Yes, it is Jesus. It is Jesus in my soul.
The fact that I'm singing, I learned 16 languages. How do you do that? You do that by learning songs. If you learned 20 Kikuyu songs, you're a Kikuyu. If you learned 20 Kijaluo songs and the way they speak it, you already are a Luo. You know? Because one, you don't want to sing what you don't understand. Two, we're Africans, we don't sing with the book. No, never. You master it. You understand it. Three, African languages are tonal. Kendo. One word, spelled the same, but sounded differently. That means you have to learn language dynamics, appreciate that. The day I learned how to speak Kikuyu, other than just the horo aku, nekwega, wadhieko, tadhiegoko, okay, before I learned all that, I could not appreciate Kikuyus. But the minute I learned some Kikuyu, I would brag in front of people speaking those words in capital letters until one day I thought I was saying the right thing. Kumbe, it was an abuse because I pronounced it wrongly. Now it gave me something to appreciate Kikuyus about. Today, my highest connection is among the Kikuyu people. How would you feel if you went to China and you had a Chinese speaking language? Chinese is Omera, wugane kayo biye ne kai ni dakatiel. I'm just giving an example. You're in China and you can hear Chinese speaking to you the Luo like that. How would you feel? You'd feel nice. I learned Amharic, learned some songs in Amhara. I learned that language. I didn't know that this language one day would be used, and I was invited to go into a very big show in Ethiopia. I was invited to go and lead worship. They didn't want to employ several people who lead them. They wanted just one person who could lead them in many because they had seen it online. My dear, it got me a job, and I was very well paid. So apart from going to Ethiopia, they also planned another round trip in the US in 2010. That was called, it was called Beyond Idols. So they were taking people who have sung or participated in idol-like competitions. We formed a band and we went around America just singing. And you know what? Hey, what a Luo is. It is just a Luo, not by default, by character, by performance, by whatever it is, bwana. Hey, ile kitu nilipata huko. Nilikuwa na treatiwa kama celebrity ya leba. Nilikuwa celebrity, sijawahi sikia celebrity. Celebrity. We went to different places. Hey, we were. Do you know? Have you ever been treated like a celebrity? Hey, Kenya hapa hakuna celebrity yote. In the US, if it is celebrity, you are going there, they will announce you everywhere. You will have posters 3 weeks before you go there in every place, and wherever I would go to, I felt like a celebrity. Hey, dada, humility, ikuchape mara moja. Hey, hata sahi, if I came to do Paris, those who don't watch, I can see. There are too many charities. Those who have never watched it, they will still ask me, who are you? What a maringo. You are as good as your last dance. And the people are still being born. So don't think people know you. After 5 generations hivi, utakuwa hata nothing. Nothing. Unless, and Michael Jackson hata tumesamsahau. Tulisamsahau kitambo sana. Isikuingie kwa masikio ama kwa macho na kwa mapua. Tafadhali, you are just a nobody. Sasa tengeneza maisha. You are a celebrity today, tomorrow somebody else is born. My biggest highlight was Tasker Project Fame when I did TPF, and I thought, I think TPF had ways to lobby into people's minds about talent, and people know me till date. Those who know me till date mention Tasker Project Fame. It's slowly today, those who live in the city now know I can sing. At least I Can Sing also has made me make a name. But Tasker Project Fame was the biggest when I did Tasker Project Fame. I've worked for Daystar for about 20 years. Lakini sijawahi sikia mtu sema, oh, are you from Daystar? Oh my gosh, Daystar. Unless their children have come to this event where every year we have people, students come in and we sing at that event. Now with KTN I Can Sing. You never know, because I think also that one, it's just season 2 and it has gone high. Every place I've been in Nairobi, people know KTN I Can Sing. Yeah. This is what to tell a young, upcoming musician. Don't go into music because of the money, because my dear, you'll be shocked. It's not there. Don't go into the music because you want to showcase your talent and, you know, and be known. Because fame can only take you so far. Go into music because you have the passion for it. And go into music because you are a creative. Most people go into music because they are creatives, will never go dry. They'll never run dry. And then let not celebrity culture enter your head because you're as good as your last dance. You could be a celebrity today. Tomorrow an accident happens, you have no feet. Now you can't dance. What happens to you? Always remember, humble yourself before God and He will lift you up. If you humble yourself and know that it's an opportunity for those who have come to shake your hand, Hellen, this is new. Oh, Hellen, hey, smile back at them, because if it was not for them, you would not be one. You would not be a celebrity. If you also are an upcoming singer, please, if you don't know where to start from your knees. Pray for yourself. Pray and ask God to lead you to the right people. Because in music, you need divine connection. If you go into the music because you just want fame or whatever, you might land in the wrong hands. Because musicians are the ones who flourish in God. And between seconds, they're out in the world and they're finished on the spot. So if you want to serve God, decide who do you want to serve. Serve God or serve Satan. Kama ni wa shetani, ukula huko kwa Shetani mtumikie kabisa, lakini ukichanganya utashtuka. Now this is how you changanya. How you changanya talent of singing for God and singing for Shetani is, if you know very well, there are certain things that Christians don't do. Like if you're a singer and probably you want to go and sing in a bar, that's okay. In Luo we say that place has written bar, iti donje nango. Imeandikwa Peter, yani bar is Luo. Peter, wewe unaingia kwa nini? Ukisaambiwa Peter, wewe unaingia bado. Sasa ukisaingia, get the consequences and the repercussions. Which is, if you decide to probably sing for those people who are probably in the secular world, make sure that the secular also does not entangle you. And it's tricky because if you sing for the secular people, there are certain things and pleasures that come with it. If you're a person who loves fame and you're now famous, now you look good, you're good looking, etc. Good looking does not just go like that. Good looking man comes with good looking women. So if you're a person who loves women, pole, itakuangamiza mpaka ushangae. How did I get into this? So ask God to lead you to the right people so that you actually do not fall into temptation and fall flat or fall bad. Remember, there are those who look to you. If you're singing and you sing well, there are those who will definitely want to be mentored by you. Remember, if you fall, they also fall. Najisikia wise?